stop. Do not scroll away. Do not think for a single second that your thumb landed on this video by accident. Take a deep breath. Look around you right now. Look at the room you are sitting in. Look at the device in your hand. You did not find this video. This video found you. The algorithm that brought you here is not written by engineers in Silicon Valley. It is written by the universe itself. It is a divine calculation. If you are hearing my voice right now, it means a shift has occurred deep within your consciousness. It means the frequency you are emitting has finally matched the frequency of the information I am about to reveal. For months, maybe even years, you have felt like a stranger in your own life. You look at the people around you, your friends, your family, your colleagues, and you feel a disconnect so profound it aches inside your chest. They seem to be playing a game, following a script that you no longer want to read. They chase money, they chase status, they chase the next temporary dopamine hit. And while you participate, while you smile and nod, deep inside, you are screaming in silence. You feel like a glitch in the system, an error in the code. You feel isolated. You feel misunderstood. You feel homesick for a place you have never been. They call this depression. They call this anxiety. They call this being lost. But here, at the Matrix 963, we call it by its true name. This is not madness. This is a spiritual awakening. And that feeling of not belonging, it is the primary symptom of the chosen one. You are waking up from a deep hypnotic slumber that has kept humanity enslaved in the 3D matrix for thousands of years. Your soul is rejecting the old programming. Your vibration is trying to break the lock. But here is the truth that no one tells you. Knowledge is not free. The truth is not for everyone. There is a specific reason why you have struggled, why you have faced the dark night of the soul, why you have been forced into solitude. You were being prepared. You were being emptied so that you could be filled with something new. In this transmission, we are not just going to share information. We are going to initiate a quantum frequency shift. We are going to unlock the nameless book of your subconscious mind. If you leave now, you will return to the matrix, to the comfortable numbness of the sleep. But if you stay, if you listen to the very end, you will understand why your life had to break down so it could be rebuilt on a timeline of higher purpose. The door is opening. The frequency is set to 963 Hertz. Welcome to the desert of the real. Welcome to the Matrix 963. Chapter 1. The Legend of the Nameless Book. To understand why you are here, we must first travel back, not in time, but in consciousness. There is an ancient legend, whispered among the mystics and the Sufi masters for centuries, hidden in the sands of time. It tells of a hidden bazaar, located in a valley that does not appear on any map drawn by human hands, a place that exists between the dimensions of the waking world and the dream world. In the deepest, most shadowed corner of this market, there sat an old woman, the Keeper. She was ancient, her skin like cracked parchment, recording the history of the world, her eyes silver like the moon, holding the weight of 1,000 lifetimes. She sold nothing, no spices to delight the senses, no silks to adorn the body, no jewels to feed the ego. On her weathered wooden table lay only one object, a book. It had no title embossed in gold, it had no author's name, it had no cover art to attract the eye. It was known simply as the Nameless Book, and it was the most dangerous object in the world. Not because it contained poison or weapons or dark magic, but because it contained the absolute truth. Legend said that this book held the secrets of quantum manifestation, the blueprint of the soul, and the answer to every question a human could ever dare to ask. Every day, people came from the four corners of the earth to buy it. Kings offered their kingdoms, merchants offered mountains of gold, scholars offered their eyesight just for a glimpse. One day, a wealthy merchant, arrogant and loud, slammed a heavy bag of gold onto the table. The sound of coins clinking echoed through the silence. "I want the book," he demanded, his voice dripping with entitlement. "I need to know the secret of eternal wealth. I need to know how to control the markets." The Keeper smiled, a sad, knowing smile that chilled the merchant to the bone. She pushed the gold aside as if it were nothing but dust, and gestured to the book. "It is not mine to sell," she whispered, her voice like dry leaves rustling in the wind. "If you can read it, it is yours." The merchant sneered. He tore open the cover with greedy hands. He expected spells, formulas, maps to hidden treasures. But what he found was nothing. Blank pages, hundreds of them, white, empty, silent. "You cheat!" he screamed, his face turning red with rage. "This is a scam. There is nothing here. It is just useless paper." He threw the book down and stormed off, convinced the old woman was insane, convinced he had been mocked. To him, the book was worthless, because his eyes could not see what his soul did not possess. Next came a scholar, a man of logic, of science, of intellect. He had studied every philosophy, memorized every scripture, dissected every theory. He approached with arrogance, adjusting his glasses. He opened the book, hoping to critique its syntax, to analyze its structure. But he too saw only blank pages. "Impossible," he muttered, flipping through the pages frantically. "The data is missing. The variable is undefined. This makes no logical sense." He left, confused, his intellect useless against the void. He could not understand that wisdom is not the same as knowledge. Years passed. The book remained on the table, gathering dust, dismissing the arrogant, the greedy, and the merely curious. It waited. Until one evening, just as the sun was bleeding into the horizon, painting the sky in hues of violet and deep orange, a traveler arrived. He was not rich. He was not famous. He was broken. He had walked through the desert of his own life for years. He had lost everything: his status, his love, his identity. He was in the midst of his own dark night of the soul. His shoes were worn, his clothes were tattered, and his eyes held the emptiness of someone who had seen too much pain. He did not come to the market to buy. He came because he had nowhere else to go. He had surrendered. He stopped at the stall. He didn't ask for the price. He didn't demand answers. He didn't try to prove he was worthy. He simply looked at the book and felt a strange vibration in his chest, a resonance like the hum of a tuning fork striking a perfect note. He reached out his trembling hand. The moment his fingers brushed the leather cover, the air in the market shifted. The noise of the crowd faded into absolute silence. It was as if the world held its breath. He opened the book, and he wept. The pages were not blank. They were filled with light. They were filled with moving images, with words written in the language of the stars. He saw his past not as mistakes, but as necessary lessons. He saw his pain not as punishment, but as the fire that forged him. He saw his future waiting for him like a lover. He read the secrets of the universe, and he understood them instantly, not with his mind, but with his heart. The keeper leaned forward and whispered the secret that I am about to tell you now. Listen closely, for this secret is the key to your life. She said, "The book was never empty, my child. It was always full. But the others, they were vibrating at the frequency of wanting, of greed, of ego. You are vibrating at the frequency of surrender. The book only opens when the reader is ready." This story is not a myth. It is a metaphor for your life. The universe is the Nameless Book, and for years you have been trying to read it. You have been trying to manifest abundance, trying to find your soulmate, trying to find peace. But all you found were blank pages. All you found was silence. Why? Not because you are unworthy, not because God is punishing you, not because you are unlucky, but because you were trying to read chapter 10 while your frequency was stuck in chapter 1. You were trying to access the code of abundance while broadcasting the signal of scarcity. But today, the fact that you are here, listening to this voice, means the ink is beginning to appear. The pages are turning. You are ready. Chapter 2: The Quantum Physics of Readiness. Let's leave the mystic bazaar and step into the laboratory. Let's strip away the poetry and look at the cold, hard science behind this phenomenon. Because divine timing isn't just a spiritual concept. It is quantum physics. It is the mechanics of reality itself. Nikola Tesla, the father of modern electricity, the man who saw the future, once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Everything in this universe, from the phone in your hand to the thoughts in your head, to the chair you are sitting on, is made of energy vibrating at a specific rate. Solid matter is an illusion. It is just energy vibrating slowly. Thought is energy vibrating quickly. This is not a theory. This is a scientific fact. Now I want to introduce you to a concept that will change how you see your entire life: the vibrational lock. Imagine your consciousness is a radio receiver. Right now, in the room where you sit, there are hundreds of radio waves, Wi-Fi signals, and cellular data streams passing through your body. There is heavy metal music. There is classical music. There is bad news. There is secret military communication. They are all here, right now, occupying the same space. But you cannot hear them. You cannot see them. Why? Because your internal receiver is not tuned to their frequency. To you, they do not exist. They are invisible. This is exactly how the matrix works. The reality you want, the abundance, the soulmate, the spiritual awakening, the freedom, it is not in the future. It is not coming. It is here, right now, superimposed over your current reality. It exists in the quantum field as a probability wave. But you are suffering from vibrational blindness. You cannot perceive the solution because you are vibrating at the frequency of the problem. In quantum mechanics, this is related to the observer effect. The observer creates the reality. If you approach the nameless book of life with the energy of "I need this" or "I lack this," you are broadcasting a frequency of lack. The universe, which is just a giant quantum mirror, reflects that lack back to you as empty pages. This is why your affirmations fail. This is why your vision boards don't work. You are standing in front of the mirror, screaming, "I am rich," but your vibration is whispering, "I am afraid of being poor." The mirror only reflects the whisper. The universe does not hear what you say. It feels what you vibrate. This brings us to the terrifying realization of why you are trapped in the matrix. The system is designed to keep your frequency low. Think about it. The news cycle? Fear, low vibration. The processed food? Dead energy, low vibration. The drama on social media? Distraction, low vibration. They keep you in a state of survival, locking your brain in beta brainwaves so that you never reach the state of creation found in theta waves or gamma brainwaves. They keep you focused on the blank pages so you never realize you have the power to write the story. But here is the good news, the profound truth that explains your pain. The fact that you are feeling uncomfortable in your life right now, the fact that you feel like the chosen one who doesn't fit in, it means your receiver is starting to turn the dial. You are moving away from the static noise of the collective unconsciousness. You are tuning into a new station. That pain you feel, that confusion, that isn't failure. That is the sound of the dial turning. That is the friction of growth. When you finally hit the right frequency, the frequency of readiness, the static stops. And suddenly, the invisible becomes visible. Opportunities appear out of thin air. People walk into your life who speak your soul's language. The book opens. The text appears. This is not magic. It is alignment. So the question you must ask yourself tonight is not, when will my time come? The question is, what is blocking my signal? Why are you still seeing blank pages? Is it old trauma? Is it a subconscious belief that you are unworthy? Is it the fear of your own power? To answer that, we must descend deeper. We must go into the darkest part of the journey, the part that most law of attraction gurus are too afraid to tell you about. We must talk about the pain of breaking and the necessity of the void. We must talk about the blacksmith's paradox. Don't turn away. The fire is where the gold is made. Chapter 3: The Dark Night of the Soul. If Chapter 1 was the realization and Chapter 2 was the science, then this is the surgery. There is a period in every awakening journey that no one wants to talk about on Instagram. They show you the light, the peace, the crystals, and the bliss, but they do not show you the blood. You are likely watching this video because you are in pain. Let's be honest about it. You feel a heaviness in your chest that sleep cannot cure. You feel isolated even when you are in a crowded room. You feel like you are losing your mind. The things that used to bring you joy, your hobbies, your favorite TV shows, your social gatherings, now taste like ash in your mouth. You look at your old friends and you feel nothing. You look at your job and you feel trapped. It feels like depression. It feels like a breakdown. But listen to me closely. This is not a breakdown. This is a breakthrough. The mystics call this the dark night of the soul. In the biological world, before a caterpillar can become a butterfly, it does not just sprout wings. It wraps itself in a cocoon and completely dissolves. It turns into a chaotic, formless soup. If you were to cut open a cocoon halfway through the process, you would not see a half caterpillar, half butterfly. You would see a mess. You would see death. Right now, you are in the cocoon. You are grieving, but you are not grieving a person. You are grieving the death of your old self. The universe is stripping you bare. It is removing everything that is not you, every false belief, every mask you wore to please society, every trauma you buried in your childhood. It is all coming to the surface to be burned. This process is called purging, and it hurts. It hurts because your ego is clinging to the old identity. Your ego is screaming, "I am dying." And it is right. The ego is dying so that the spirit can be born. You might be asking, why is this necessary? Why can't I just awaken peacefully? Because you cannot build a skyscraper on a cracked foundation. The universe is demolishing your old life to build a new timeline. This is where the concept of shadow work becomes critical. Most people run from the darkness. When the pain comes, they numb it. They drink, they scroll, they shop, they seek distractions. They try to escape the dark night. But you, the chosen one, you do not run. You turn and face the shadow. You sit in the silence that terrifies you. You ask the pain, "What are you here to teach me?" This darkness is not a punishment. It is a womb. You are feeling lonely because your vibration has risen so high that you no longer match up with the people around you. You have been placed in isolation not to be punished, but to be protected. The universe has put you in quarantine so you can download the new operating system without interference. So if you are crying yourself to sleep tonight, know this: the tears are watering the seeds of your new life. You are not falling apart, you are falling into place. But being in the dark is only the first test. The second test is how you handle the weight. And this leads us to the greatest paradox of creation. Chapter 4. The Old Alchemist's Paradox. There is a story from the old world, long before the age of machines. It is the story of the master alchemist and the unforged sword. Deep in the mountains, there lived an old alchemist who was also a master swordsmith. He spent his entire life trying to create the perfect blade, a sword that was light as a feather, but could cut through stone, a sword that hummed with the frequency of the stars. For decades he labored. He built the hottest fires. He used the strongest hammers. He gathered the rarest metals. Every day he would strike the steel with all his might. Clang, clang, clang. He poured his sweat, his blood, and his sheer willpower into the metal. He tried to force the steel to become perfect. He tried to dominate it. But every single time, just as the sword was taking shape, it would shatter. The harder he hit, the more brittle the steel became. The more he wanted it, the further away it moved. He grew old, bitter, and exhausted. He had failed. One winter night, the alchemist collapsed by his forge. The fire was dying. His hammer lay on the floor. He looked at the piece of raw, shapeless steel glowing dimly in the embers. He whispered, "I give up. I cannot force you. Be what you will be." In that moment of total defeat, in that moment of absolute surrender, something shifted. The alchemist stopped trying to make the sword. Instead, he started to listen to the steel. He picked up the hammer, but this time he didn't strike with anger. He struck with rhythm. He allowed the hammer to fall. He worked with the metal, not against it. He entered a state of flow. He didn't focus on the result. He focused on the dance of the fire. And that morning, as the sun rose, he pulled from the fire the blade he had sought for 40 years. It did not break, it sang. Why do I tell you this story? Because you are the alchemist, and your life is the steel. How many times have you tried to force your reality? You tried to force a specific person to love you. You tried to force a business to succeed. You tried to force your awakening to happen faster. You script, you visualize, you chant, you struggle. You grip your desires so tightly that you strangle them. And what happens? The steel shatters. The person leaves. The business fails. You feel stuck. This is the law of reversed effort. The harder you try to swim, the faster you sink. Neville Goddard, the great mystic, called this the law of assumption. He taught that you do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. When you are trying to get something, you are vibrating at the frequency of "I don't have it." The alchemist failed because his vibration was effort and lack. He succeeded only when his vibration shifted to surrender and trust. Surrender does not mean giving up. It does not mean you stop taking action. Surrender means you stop fighting the current. It means you trust that the seed has been planted and you stop digging it up every 5 minutes to see if it has grown. The paradox of the universe is this: to get everything you want, you must be okay with having nothing. You must reach a point where you say to the universe, "I desire this, but I do not need it to be whole." That is the secret of the unforged sword. When you let go of the need to control, you gain control over everything. But how do you reach that state? How do you reprogram your mind to stop fighting? You must learn to work in the space between the worlds. Chapter 5: Subconscious Reprogramming in the Void. After the dark night of the soul, and after you learn to surrender, you enter a strange phase. The pain stops, but the miracle hasn't happened yet. The old life is gone, but the new life hasn't arrived. You are floating in nothingness. It is quiet. It is empty. It is boring. We call this the void. Most people panic here. They think nothing is happening. The universe has forgotten me. They try to fill the silence with noise, with busy work, with anxiety. Do not make that mistake. The void is not empty. The void is fertile. It is the womb of creation. It is the zero-point field of quantum physics. Think of your mind like a garden in winter. On the surface, it looks dead. There are no flowers, no leaves. But under the soil, everything is happening. The roots are spreading. The energy is gathering. This is the most critical time for subconscious reprogramming. Why? Because when you are in the void, your conscious mind, the guard dog that rejects new ideas, is tired. It is resting. The gate to your subconscious is wide open. Your subconscious mind is the biological supercomputer that runs your life. It controls 95% of your reality. And for your entire life, it has been running on a program of limitation, fear, and scarcity. Now, in the void, the clay is soft. You can mold it into anything. But how? How do you plant the seed in the dark? You must use the state of the twilight mind. Science calls this the hypnagogic state. It is that magical window of time just before you fall asleep and just after you wake up. In this state, your brainwaves slow down from beta, alert, to alpha and theta. In theta state, you are suggestible, you are hypnotizable, you are essentially in a trance. This is the technique I want you to use tonight, and for the next 21 nights. When you lay your head on the pillow and you feel your body getting heavy, do not let your mind drift into worries about tomorrow. Do not replay the arguments of today. Instead, I want you to perform a mental rehearsal. Visualize a short scene, just 10 seconds, that implies your wish is already fulfilled. Do not watch it like a movie screen. Be in the movie. Look through your own eyes. If you want health, feel your legs running on the beach. Feel the wind on your skin. Feel the salt in the air. If you want abundance, feel the texture of the leather steering wheel of your new car. Smell the new car scent. If you want love, feel the weight of a ring on your finger. Hear the voice of your partner saying, "I love you." Loop this scene over and over like a lullaby. Do not force it. Just feel it. Feel the satisfaction. Feel the relief. It is done. Fall asleep in that feeling. When you do this, you are marinating your subconscious mind in the frequency of your desire for 8 hours while you sleep. You are rewriting the code of the Matrix 963. You are planting the seed in the fertile soil of the void. And remember the Alchemist. Once the seed is planted, you do not stomp on the ground. You trust. You surrender. You let the dark soil do its work. The morning will come. The flower will bloom. But first, you must master the night. But wait, there is a specific signal, a bridge that connects your mind directly to the divine intelligence, a frequency that speeds up this entire process. It is called the Theta Bridge, and it is the secret behind the number 963. Chapter 6: Theta Waves and the Bridge to the Divine. We have spoken about the void, and we have spoken about the subconscious. Now we must speak about the bridge that connects them. Have you ever wondered why your best ideas come to you in the shower, or while you are driving on a long, empty highway, or just moments before you drift off to sleep? It is not a coincidence. It is biology. Your brain is an electrochemical organ. It operates on frequencies. When you are awake, stressed, working, or scrolling on your phone, your brain is in beta state. This is the state of survival. It is high alert. It is noisy. In beta, the door to the divine is closed because you are too busy processing the 3D world. But as you relax, you slow down into alpha state. This is the state of calm. And if you go deeper, just before you fall asleep, you enter the holy grail of consciousness, Theta state. Theta waves oscillate at 4 to 7 cycles per second. This is the frequency of deep meditation, lucid dreaming, and hypnosis. But more importantly, Theta is the frequency where the veil between the physical world and the spiritual world is thinnest. In ancient traditions, they called this the spirit realm. In neuroscience, we call it the hypnagogic state. Thomas Edison, the great inventor, knew this secret. He would sit in a chair with a steel ball in his hand. As he drifted off to sleep, entering the Theta state, his muscles would relax and the ball would drop. The noise would wake him up, and he would immediately write down the ideas he received in that twilight zone. He was not inventing, he was downloading. Why am I telling you this? Because if you want to escape the matrix, you must stop praying to a God that is far away and start tuning in to the God that is within your own biology. Every night you pass through this Theta bridge twice, once when you fall asleep and once when you wake up. Most people waste this time. They fall asleep worrying about bills. They wake up and immediately check their phone. They pollute the holy bridge with the garbage of the matrix. Do not do this. From tonight onwards, treat the 10 minutes before sleep as sacred. This is your appointment with the divine intelligence. As your body relaxes and you feel that floaty, dreamlike sensation, know that you are in Theta. The Wi-Fi signal to the universe is at full strength. This is the time to ask questions. Show me the next step. Heal my body. Bring me the solution. And then, listen. You might not hear a voice. You might see an image, a color, or just feel a sudden knowing. That is the download. That is the guidance. But how do you know if you are even capable of receiving these signals? How do you know if you are just a normal person, or if you are part of the lineage of souls sent here to dismantle the system? You look for the signs. Chapter 7. 10 Signs You Are the Chosen One. We have arrived at the most important validation of your life. You have walked this earth feeling different. You have felt like a black sheep, an outcast, a lone wolf. You have wondered if there is something wrong with you. I am here to tell you, there is nothing wrong with you. There is something right with you. You are what the ancients called a starseed, a light worker, or simply the chosen one. You were not chosen by an external god. You chose yourself before you incarnated. You volunteered to come into this dense, chaotic timeline to hold the frequency of light during the Great Shift. If you recognize more than 5 of these signs, you are not asleep. You are awake. Sign number 1, the starseed syndrome. You have a deep, unexplainable sense of homesickness. You look at the stars at night, and you feel a longing to go home, even though you don't know where home is. You have never felt completely comfortable on Earth. The rules of society, go to school, get a job, pay taxes, die, seem absurd to you. You feel like a tourist on this planet. Sign number 2. You see the numbers. 1111, 333, 444, 1212. You see these repeating numbers everywhere, on clocks, license plates, receipts. This is not a coincidence. This is synchronicity. These are called angel numbers. They are the glimmers in the matrix code. It is the universe winking at you, confirming that you are on the right path. When you see 1111, it is a wake-up call. It means your DNA is activating. Sign number 3. You are a human lie detector. You can read energy. You know when someone is lying to you, even if they are saying all the right words. You can walk into a room and instantly feel the vibe. If someone is fake, you feel physically sick around them. You cannot tolerate small talk, gossip, or superficiality. You crave depth. This makes it hard to date or make friends in the modern world, but it is your superpower. Sign number 4, the Great Purge. Recently, your life has been falling apart. You have lost friends. You have lost relationships. You may have lost your job. It feels like a curse, but it is a blessing. As your vibration rises, you can no longer sustain connections with low-vibration people. The universe is clearing the deck. The people leaving your life are not bad people. They are just not a match for where you are going. Let them go. Sign number 5. You wake up between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. This is known as the witching hour or the divine hour. In this time window, the veil is thinnest. If you wake up suddenly at 3:33 a.m. for no reason, do not go back to sleep immediately. Sit up. Breathe. You are being woken up to receive a download. Sign number 6. Animals and children are drawn to you. You might be invisible to adults, but babies stare at you. Cats and dogs come to you. They sense your auric field. They see the light you carry. Innocence recognizes innocence. Sign number 7. You have a mission. You have this nagging feeling that you are here to do something big. You don't just want a job. You want a purpose. You feel an urgency, as if time is running out. You know you have a contribution to make, a book to write, a healing to offer. This pressure can be stressful, but it is the compass of your soul. Sign number 8. High empathy. You feel the pain of others as if it were your own. You cannot watch violent movies or the news because it physically hurts you. You are an empath. You are here to transmute the darkness, not just witness it. Sign number 9. The thirst for truth. You question everything: religion, politics, history, the medical system. You do not accept the narrative handed to you by the mainstream media. You are a truth seeker. You dive down rabbit holes. You found this video because you were searching for answers that schools never taught you. Sign number 10. The isolation. You spend a lot of time alone, not because you are antisocial, but because you need solitude to recharge. The noise of the world drains you. In silence, you find your power. If you are nodding your head, if your heart is beating faster, then welcome home. You are the chosen one. But being chosen is not just a badge of honor. It is a responsibility. Because once you know who you are, you must learn how to stop the cycle of suffering. You must learn how to break the loop. Chapter 8. Breaking the Matrix Loops. Have you noticed a pattern in your life? Maybe you keep dating the same type of toxic person, just with a different face. Maybe you save money, and then an unexpected expense wipes it all out, over and over again. Maybe you get a new job, but the same drama with the boss happens again. You feel like you are running on a hamster wheel. You feel cursed. You are not cursed. You are in a karmic loop. In the context of the Matrix 963, a loop is a repeated lesson that your soul has not yet mastered. Think of life like a video game. If you cannot beat the boss at level 3, the game does not let you go to level 4. It respawns you at the beginning of level 3, again and again and again. The universe is a patient teacher. It will repeat the lesson until you learn it. So why are you stuck? Because you are reacting. The loop is fed by your emotional reaction. When the toxic ex texts you, you get angry. When the bill comes, you feel fear. When the boss criticizes you, you feel unworthy. Your emotion is the fuel that powers the loop. Quantum physics tells us that reality is a mirror. If you react to the mirror with anger, the mirror reflects more reasons to be angry. So how do you break the loop? How do you destroy the program? You must do the hardest thing in the world. You must stop reacting. You must become the observer. The next time the test shows up, the rude person, the unexpected bill, the disappointment, you must freeze. Do not yell. Do not cry. Do not spiral into panic. Take a breath, step back, and look at the situation as if you are watching a movie. Say to yourself, "Ah, I see what this is. This is the test. This is the loop trying to trigger me." And then choose a different response. Choose neutrality. Choose peace. Choose to shrug your shoulders and say, "It is what it is." When you deny the matrix your emotional reaction, you starve the loop. It has no energy to sustain itself. And in that moment of non-reaction, something miraculous happens. You experience a timeline shift. You literally jump from the timeline where you are a victim to the timeline where you are a master. The reality around you begins to rearrange itself. The toxic person suddenly leaves town. The money flows in from a new source. The problem dissolves. This is the art of quantum jumping. It is not about changing the external world. It is about changing your internal reaction to the world. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. But to maintain this level of mastery, to hold this high frequency of non-reaction, you need more than just willpower. You need to upgrade your biological hardware. You need to activate the God frequency within your DNA. You need to tune your instrument to 963 Hertz.
Chapter 9. The God Frequency, 963 Hertz. We have talked about mindset. We have talked about the psychology of the self. Now we must talk about the invisible architecture of the universe. Frequency. Have you ever walked into a room and felt instantly tired for no reason? Or listened to a specific song on the radio and felt a sudden wave of anxiety or aggression? That is because sound is not just something you hear with your ears. Sound is a vibration that physically programs the structure of matter. Since your body is over 70% water, you are literally a walking liquid crystal, being continuously programmed by the frequencies in your environment. Here is the secret that the modern media and music industries do not want you to know. Most of the music you hear today, the notifications on your phone, the hum of the electricity in your walls, is tuned to specific disharmonic frequencies, often around 440 Hertz. This frequency is known to stimulate the chaotic mind. It keeps you in the external world. It keeps you focused on the ego, on fear, on separation. It disconnects you from the natural rhythm of the planet. But there is an ancient scale, a lost mathematical code of creation known as the solfeggio frequencies. These tones were used in ancient Gregorian chants and Eastern meditation practices to facilitate spiritual transformation. And the crown jewel, the pinnacle of this scale, is 963 Hertz. This is known as the frequency of the gods, or simply the God frequency. Why is this number so powerful? Why does this channel, the Matrix 963, dedicate its existence to this specific vibration? Nikola Tesla, the genius who understood the fabric of reality, famously said, "If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe." 963 Hertz is the frequency of the pineal gland. Biologically, the pineal gland is a small, pine cone-shaped gland located deep in the geometric center of your brain. The ancient Egyptians, the Hindus, and the mystics of old called it the third eye.
It is the biological antenna that connects your physical avatar to your higher self and to the source of all creation. When you were a child, your pineal gland was wide open. It was soft, fluid, and active. That is why children have vivid imaginations, why they have imaginary friends, why they see magic in the mundane. They are still connected to the source. But as you grew up, something happened. The fluoride in the water, the processed sugar in the food, the heavy metals in the air, and the constant fear pumped out by the media caused this gland to calcify. It became hard, like a stone. Your antenna was broken. That is why you feel disconnected. That is why you feel abandoned by God. That is why you struggle to visualize or manifest. The signal from the universe is still broadcasting, but your internal receiver is crusted over with the debris of the matrix. Listening to 963 Hz, which you are hearing in the background right now, acts like a sonic laser. It vibrates the calcium deposits off the pineal gland. It decalcifies the third eye. It penetrates the subconscious mind and restores your system to its original factory settings, the setting of pure oneness. When you listen to the audio tracks on this channel, especially while you sleep, you are not just relaxing, you are bathing yourselves in the frequency of Source. You are reminding your DNA of where it came from. You are tuning your radio back to the station of divinity. But be warned, when the light is entering a dark room, it reveals the dust. When the frequency rises, the low vibration energies must leave. And this brings us to the most difficult, yet most rewarding work you will ever do on your path to awakening. Chapter 10. Integrating the Shadow. There is a dangerous misconception in the modern New Age community. Scroll through social media, and you will see people telling you to think positive. They tell you love and light. They tell you to ignore the bad feelings, to push away the anger, to hide the sadness. This is not healing. This is dangerous. This is called spiritual bypassing. If you have a rotting foundation in your house, painting the living room walls pink will not save the structure. It will only hide the collapse until it is too late. To truly awaken, to truly become the chosen one, you must do the work that 99% of people are too afraid to do. You must do shadow work. The great psychologist Carl Jung, who bridged the gap between science and soul, said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." What is the shadow? The shadow is the part of you that you rejected. It is the bag you drag behind you. It is the anger you were told was bad when you were a child. It is the sexuality you were told was shameful. It is the ambition you were told was greedy. It is the sadness you were told was weak. You took these parts of yourself, these vital energies, and you shoved them into a dark closet in the basement of your mind. You locked the door and pretended they didn't exist. But they do exist. And because you ignore them, they control you from the dark. When you lash out at your partner for a small mistake, that is your shadow taking the wheel. When you self-sabotage just as you are about to succeed in your career, that is your shadow protecting you from being seen. When you judge others harshly, that is your shadow projecting your own insecurity onto them. You cannot destroy the shadow. You cannot run from it. You cannot positive think it away. You must integrate it. You must walk into the basement, turn on the light, and invite the monster to tea. How do you do this practically? The next time a dark emotion rises, jealousy, rage, shame, deep sorrow, do not judge it. Do not say, "I shouldn't feel this." Do not try to numb it with food or phone scrolling. Instead, pause, close your eyes, and say to the emotion, "I see you. Welcome." Ask it, "Why are you here? What are you trying to protect me from?" You will find that your shadow is not a monster. It is a wounded child. Your anger is just a bodyguard protecting your boundaries because you forgot how to say no. Your jealousy is just a map showing you what you truly desire but are afraid to ask for. Your sadness is just the depth of your ability to love. When you stop fighting your demons and start listening to them, they transform. The lead turns into gold. The energy that was used to suppress them is released back to you. You become whole. You become powerful. You become dangerous in the best way possible, because a person who knows and loves their own darkness cannot be controlled by the darkness of the world. Now you have the knowledge. You have the science of the pineal gland. You have the wisdom of the shadow. You have the legend of the Nameless Book. It is time to put it all together. It is time to leave the realm of theory and enter the realm of experience. I want you to put down your phone, turn off the lights if you can. We are going to perform the activation ritual. We are going to use sleep hypnosis to plant this truth into the deepest soil of your being. Chapter 11. The Activation Ritual. Get comfortable. Lie down on your back or sit back in your chair. Uncross your legs. Unclench your jaw. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose, holding it at the top for a moment, and exhale out through your mouth with a soft, audible sigh. Let it all go. Again, inhale deeply, imagining you are breathing in a mist of pure white light, filling your lungs, and exhale, releasing all the tension, all the worry, all the noise of the day. You are safe here. You are held. You are protected by the frequency of truth. Now bring your attention to your feet. Feel a wave of relaxation washing over your toes, your arches, your heels. This wave is warm and heavy. Feel it moving up into your ankles, your calves, your knees. Every muscle fiber is letting go. The wave moves up into your thighs, your hips, your stomach. Your breathing is becoming slow, rhythmic, and automatic, like the tides of the ocean. Feel the relaxation flowing up your spine, into your chest, down your arms, and out through your fingertips. Your neck is loose. Your face is smooth. Your eyes are resting deeply in their sockets. You are now drifting into the Theta state. The bridge is open. I want you to slowly lift your hand, physically or in your mind, and place it gently over your heart center. Feel the warmth of your hand. Feel the steady rhythm of your heart. Thump, 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 thump. That is the rhythm of the universe beating inside you. Now visualize a golden light hovering just above your head. This is the light of the source. It is vibrating at 963 hertz. Feel this light slowly pouring down onto the crown of your head. It feels like warm, liquid honey. It flows down, penetrating your skull and gently touching the center of your brain, your pineal gland. See your pineal gland beginning to glow, a vibrant indigo light pulsing in the center of your head. The crust is breaking away. The antenna is turning on.
Now, let the light flow down into your heart, under your hand. Visualize that ancient wooden door we spoke of, the door to your soul. In your mind's eye, open the door. Inside, it is safe, it is quiet, it is vast. In the center of the room, floating in midair, is the Nameless Book. But now, as you walk towards it, you realize something profound. The book is not just a book, it is a mirror. Walk up to it, look into the pages. The pages are no longer blank, they are filled with your light. They are reflecting your true essence. And written in the golden ink of the stars, you see the affirmations of your new timeline. I want you to repeat these words in your mind after me. Feel them vibrating in your chest. I am worthy of the life I desire. I release the past. I release the pain. It has served its purpose. I am powerful beyond measure. I am the creator of my reality. I am ready to read my own story. I am the chosen one. Feel these words entering your bloodstream. Feel them rewriting your cellular memory. You are no longer the victim of your history. You are the master of your destiny. The search is over. The answers are not out there. They are in here, under your hand, inside your heart. Breathe this truth in. Lock it into your vibration. In a moment, I am going to count from 1 to 5. When I reach 5, you will slowly return to your waking awareness.
feeling refreshed, activated, and aligned. Or, if you wish, you may simply drift off into a deep, healing sleep. 1. Slowly coming back. 2. Feeling the energy in your hands and feet. 3. Taking a deep, energizing breath. 4. Feeling awake, clear, and focused. 5. Open your eyes. Conclusion. The shift to Group 11. Welcome back. You have just completed a quantum activation. You have shifted your timeline. The person who started watching this video an hour ago no longer exists. You have shed the old skin. You have opened the book. But now a new question arises, a question that haunts every awakened soul. Now that you are awake, where do you belong? You look at the world and it still seems chaotic. You look at your old friends and the distance is still there. You look for your tribe and they are hard to find. That is because you do not just belong to the general population. The universe operates in mathematical groups, and the souls who awaken first, the pioneers, the black sheep, the ones who resonate with 963 Hertz, the ones who stayed until the very end of this video, usually belong to a very specific, very rare soul group. We call this Frequency Group 11. If you felt a shiver down your spine during this video, if you have been seeing the number 1111 constantly, if you felt like I was speaking the secrets of your own heart, then you are being called to gather. You are not alone. There is an army of light warriors just like you waking up all over the planet right now. In our next transmission, we will reveal the secrets of this specific group. We will answer the question, if this video found you, you might belong to Frequency Group 11. Do not miss the signal. Subscribe to the Matrix 963. Turn on the notification bell. Join the community of the awakened. And if you truly resonated with this message, if you are ready to claim your power, I want you to leave a mark in the digital fabric of this reality. Scroll down and leave a comment with the affirmation, I am the chosen one. Stamp your intent. Let the algorithm know you are awake. Let the universe know you are listening. The matrix is glitching. The book is open, and your real journey has just begun. My name is the voice of the Matrix 963, and I will see you in the next dimension.